this macro global markets algorithmic trading tutorial, we're going to take a look at the first strategy from the 10 long-only strategies guide, the Bollinger Bands. In the coding area, so using Visual Studio Code, we've got the top elements, so we're importing some libraries so that we can look at time and sync to the platform. Then what we do is building a list of ASX symbols in this case. We've got the brackets here and then down here, and basically they're comma separated and each stock code is within these quotation marks. I've gone and done a bunch of research on a range of stocks that I want to run the algorithm on. So this list is used later on to run through and cycle to check if the stock matches the requirements of the strategy. So moving down, we've got some settings here. So budget per trade, and basically this is what's going to set the amounts that we're going to try and enter for. This is set to 100k, but you can set that to say 500 or 50k or even 5k. So I'll put that back to 100. We've got profit target percent at 3%. So basically what's going to happen later is once we reach 3% profit, the algorithm will close the trades, or we can actually close them manually if we don't have the algorithm running. So we can use this algo to be an entry only, or we can let it manage the entire position from open to close. Because there's rate limits on the platform, we want to avoid hitting rate limits because it sets off certain conditions and may adversely affect your algorithm and ability to continue to trade. So we've got a wait time in seconds, which is 15. So there's 15 seconds wait between each check of each stock. Once it runs through the entire system, it'll wait another 60 seconds, I believe, not minutes, and then it'll run through the entire list again, looking for those strategic conditions. We've also got the market open time and close time. So we set that as a date time variable. That's the 10th hour, and this stops 5 minutes before 4 p.m. before it actually closes. Next up, we've got the connection requirements. So because we're on a local server and it's just trading from our computer to the platform directly, meaning no credentials have to be shared in the code, which is great for security. This section of code basically is all we need to connect to the platform once it's open. We've got a range of other criteria here, but I'm not going to go through that. If you do want extra support, feel free to get your macro global markets trading account, and I'd be happy to assist you in getting set up with some of the finer details of the code. So here's the code for the Bollinger Bands. We're basically calculating the moving average and standard deviation of close over a 20 period. We're going to call the lower and upper band. Mostly for this strategy that we're talking about, because we're looking for the dips, we're looking to enter on the lower band for this particular strategy theme. So I'll be using the lower later on. We can see here the 2.5 standard deviation subtracted from the mean basically means that we're looking for 2.5 standard deviations from the mean in price. And once that crosses the lower band, then we'll look to enter based on the program that we're setting here. So we get the cash amount so that we know that we've got available funds. We check that the market is open, and that's the open time and close time. Obviously, if you're trading the US stock market and you're running this code overnight, then these times would actually be different. So you'd have a different program running, whether it's the ASX or the US stock market, or perhaps you could even integrate the two and have two different market open times and close times based on the market that you're looking at. Then we go into the main section of the code. And what we're basically going to do, we've got a set of information here that I'm going to sort of skip over, but basically what happens is we check that list of ASX symbols. So 4 symbol ASX symbols. We've got our timers and we've got all the information that we need through this loop. So we can see here from the 4, it runs right down to the bottom where it says print if there's an error. And the main part that you need to be aware of for this tutorial is the entry condition. So when are we actually looking to get into the market based on this strategy? And it's simply if the last price is less than the lower band, and we've got some other conditions here. So making sure that we've got budget in available cash. So as long as that price is lower than the Bollinger Band, it will look to place the order. We do have exit conditions here. However, I've been letting these trades run and manually closing them in the paper trading account for example. And basically that will just continue to run, checking the price every 15 seconds and then waiting once it's run through that entire symbols list. Now, you can either exit with a keyboard interrupt, or you can actually press stop or pause on the Visual Studio Code section, and it will disconnect from the platform, and then you can close everything down. If you want access to the templates, we've got a lot more content available in the Learning Center members area under Tools and Templates. So be sure to go and get your trading account with us, book in a session so that we can help get you set up, and then you can start creating your own algorithmic trading robots in the stock market.